Their own smash-and-grab raid. Within 2 minutes, Wimbledon had taken the lead. Terry Gibson spinning and leaving Middlesbrough with a long uphill struggle. Even though the Borough responded with real spirit, it was still the First Division side who created the best opening. John Gale escaping his markers, but not making the most of the chance. He should have noted Bernie Slaven's lesson in copybook finishing just after half-time. Excellent build-up through Putney and Ripley, and when he's in this range, Bernie is as good a bet as any striker you can name. 1-1. And though Borough showed more signs of their old form than has been the case, Mark Proctor's free kick was the closest they came to settling it on the night. It'll be no fun trying to complete the job down at Wimbledon.
Wimbledon, who also came through safely in a midweek replay. Irishman Paul McGee's 4th-minute goal was too much for Middlesbrough at Plough Lane.
It's round 4 of the Littlewoods Cup, and there's a red-hot atmosphere at Upton Park for an all-London showdown. Sadly, though, it's the unsavoury side of a frantic cup tie that will dominate the morning headlines. A crowd of nearly 25,000 are here to witness proceedings. The new face is on loan Justin Fashanu. He'll make his Hammers debut as a second-half substitute.
Fashanu timed it well. Brady, Devonshire. Devonshire to Fashanu. A good ball out to Slater. Slater taking on Joseph. Slater to Ward. There's the cross. Allen with a shot. Oh, what a goal! What a goal! Martin Allen blasts in his 5th goal for West Ham United. No wonder they're celebrating. But let's just savour the build-up again. It was absolutely perfect. Fashanu out to Slater. Slater takes on the defence. Ward with the final cross. And that ball blasted into the back of the net by Martin Allen. So, 81 minutes gone.
A win with 10 men for the Hammers. Julian Dix, the man sent off in the second half. 6 other players booked, but a good start for Justin Fashanu.
West Brom hadn't got beyond the 3rd round in 5 competitions. Gary Robson set them on their way. A break beyond a leaden Wimbledon defence saw Kevin Bartlett score a fine solo goal. Great joy at the Hawthorns.
Attributes 1 as Wolves impress their superiority. The visit of First Division Wimbledon in the Rumbelows League Cup provides a refreshing interlude to the league marathon. Andy Thomas brushes a rather listless Roger Joseph aside to get on the end of his set piece. It's his 5th goal of the season and gives manager David Kemp a sporting chance of defeating his former club in the second leg in 2 weeks hence. The euphoria of that.
But in London, it was Argyle who started on top. And they stayed on top, with Andy Thomas again hitting the target. Rhys Wilmot, like Thomas, was another good signing, and he kept the Dons at bay. And it was Argyle who scored again through Mark Fiore, another ex-Don. It got interesting again when Wilmot was sent off for a foul, but Nicky Marker took over and managed well enough, so a 3-0 aggregate win.
Wing flyer Tony Daly out injured. No Derek Mountfield at the back either. For Wimbledon, 6 of these 13 names played when they won the Cup. Phelan, Sanchez, Fashanu, Scales, Gibson and Cork. First half, Gerald Sinstadt.
Fashanu. What was that? 6 inches outside the post. Krzyzewski pushed it through. Fashanu didn't need a second invitation, and he had Spink sprawling. Hit well with very little backlift, and only just outside that post. Price. Platt again making the burst. That little dummy as he threatens to play the ball in. Didn't fool Scales. Aim for Cascarino, just scraped away from his head by Blackwell, who's having a very good game in the middle of the Wimbledon defence. And now, McGee. Oh, beautifully done. He's had 2 or 3 efforts with that left foot that he hasn't connected with cleanly, but when he was put away then, he made no mistake at all. That was a devastating shot. Ball ran a little unkindly for Comin, and once he'd lost his balance, McGee steadied himself and planted it across Spink, and that puts Wimbledon 1-0 in front. Blackwell and Cascarino, and this time Cascarino wins, and Gray goes in for the equaliser. That will make Cascarino feel better, and it certainly will make Villa feel better. Their first ever goal at Villa Park against Wimbledon, scored by their skipper Stuart Gray. Blackwell has jumped well with Cascarino, but that time he was beaten in the air, and the shot from Gray in off the post. It's McGrath's. And now Fashanu. Didn't see a gap there and couldn't find one. Blackwell. Foul is given this time. I think that Callahan may have felt that he was fouled, but there was no whistle. Good back header from Scales. Scales again! Fashanu is claiming it, but he's not going to get it. He was offside. Positioning of the referee could not have been better. He was on the 6-yard line, and as the shot from Scales was deflected into the net by Fashanu, he was pointing for the free kick. Beautiful flick back header from Scales, and then when the ball comes out, Scales again left foot, Fashanu on the floor, but offside given. 5 minutes remaining, 1 apiece. And here's Platt going in. He was onside, here's York! That was a super save. Well, it looked there as though Platt or York could have scored. Platt opted for York's opportunity, and Segers spread himself to clear with his feet. Crucial save by Hans Segers. Carnes, Birch, York. Platt had made a run through the middle, and York didn't see him. Callahan. Will he try another shot? Yes, he was lining himself up for it, and it's come now for Cascarino! Crowd thought it was in, but it was into the side netting. Shot cannoned off Blackwell, fell beautifully for Cascarino. He had to dig it out from under his feet and then put it wide of the post.
Turned out Shrewsbury's performance exceeded their manager's wildest dreams. Wimbledon were outthought and astonishingly outfought. And John Bond was to enjoy his afternoon hugely. As Wimbledon's offside trap failed to impress the linesman, Dean Spink had a succession of chances. But it wasn't his day. Like Gary Shaw, Dean Spink too was once an Aston Villa player. Today, he might have had a hat-trick. The goal that mattered, though, came 7 minutes from half-time. It was no more than Shrewsbury deserved. The cross coming in from Billy Askew, signed on loan this week. The finish from who else? Gary Shaw. Vintage Shaw, really, a reminder of glorious Villa days almost a decade ago. Wimbledon were to rally in the second half, and in the last 10 minutes, indeed, Alan Cork might have snatched an equaliser. Wimbledon wouldn't have deserved it. The final whistle wasn't long in coming. A famous victory for a struggling third division club which had little reason to expect it, and a manager who was as proud as he was back at Wembley a decade ago. That's the FA Cup. And the hero of the day?
Wimbledon provided City with their third-round opponents for the 1992 FA Cup. Winners of the competition just 4 years earlier, the South London side was sure to prove stiff opposition. And it was the visitors who took the lead midway through the first half. John Fashanu somehow managed to squeeze his shot beyond City keeper Andy Leaney. It was a mistake by Dave Rennie, which allowed the experienced striker to score his 6th goal of the season. In a game of few chances, it looked as if time had run out for City when Mark Gavin swung over a corner. Hans Sager's clearance was swiftly returned into the penalty area by Mark Hazelwood, and it was Warren Barton, under pressure from Bob Taylor, who planted the ball into the back of his own net. An amazing escape for City, and an equaliser coming from an unexpected source. In what turned out to be his last game at Ashton Gate for Bristol City, Bob Taylor was originally credited with the goal, but quite clearly it was Warren Barton with the final touch. A 10th minute strike by Andy May was enough to see off Wimbledon in the replay at Selhurst Park. In doing so, it meant that City had won away against First Division opponents in the FA Cup for the first time since the famous victory at Ellen Road against Leeds United. The 1988 Cup winners Wimbledon are out of the competition. Second Division Bristol City in red went ahead after 10 minutes at Selhurst Park, and it stayed that way to the final whistle. Andy May, the Bristol City goal scorer.
And we're soon back at Goodison, this time for a third round Coca-Cola Cup tie, but the result was exactly the same as in the league. Another 0-0 draw. A little domestic upset intervened before the next league match, to be underway with Everton's victory at Selhurst Park in the Coca-Cola Cup third round replay. Peter Beardsley was the scorer of this, the only goal in 3 encounters with Wimbledon. But if there had been hopes of a revival...
Exit from the FA Cup as acutely as the staunchest supporter of the club, John Fashanu laid the foundation for a Wimbledon dressing room party when he scored after 35 minutes. But the incisive wound was inflicted when, having just seen the ball hit their own crossbar, Wimbledon broke free to the other end, and it was Robbie Earle that found the opening to put the Dons 2 up. Securing Premier League status is all that's left for Everton now. They found some hope with 23 minutes to go. Centre-half Dave Watson had been pushed forward. He pulled the goal back. Not enough. The singing and dancing was all done in the Wimbledon dressing room. Wimbledon manager Joe Kinnear must have wondered if his central defenders were still in the dressing room when the game kicked off. Villa's Ray Houghton set up Dwight York after only 12 seconds, but York couldn't quite believe his luck. He soon made amends though. 3 minutes were on the clock. When Houghton passed again, York's header gave Villa the lead. Gary Elkins equalised thanks to an in-off from Villa goalkeeper Nigel Spink, and Villa might not fancy the replay at Selhurst Park.
Penalties being taken at the end where the Aston Villa supporters are. First to go, John Fashanu. No run-up in the corner as it was against Liverpool the other week here from him. Cool as you like from the Wimbledon number 9, John Fashanu, beating Bosnich. And Villa, having missed their last 2 penalties through Saunders and Houghton, the first man to step up tonight is Gary Parker. And he scores. It's 1-1. Second man for Wimbledon, Neil Ardley. Well taken, 2-1. Bosnich had no chance here, beauty. Now the last penalty Dean Saunders took, he missed. But not this time, it's 2-2. They're all going in so far. Brian McAllister never scored a goal for Wimbledon's first team. That's a goal though, and again, struck perfectly. The kickers really holding their nerve here. 3-2 to Wimbledon. Now the Bosnich is back on his feet, Segers is back in goal. It in. 3-3. Emphatic from Steve Staunton. Now, it's the goalkeeper who's just been treated for cramp. Goal by Jones. Cox looking to put Villa level at 4-4. Oh, straight at the goalkeeper's feet. And Hans Segers gives Wimbledon a real lifeline here. Sorry for Cox, but you've got to feel that Holdsworth here has to keep his nerve. If he scores, Wimbledon are in the 5th round. Oh, he's hit the post! And it's still 4-3 and Villa are still in it. And Holdsworth knows. Oh, dear, oh dear. The Wimbledon players were half in the air celebrating, and suddenly they had to put their arms down to score, to put it back to 4-4. If he misses, Wimbledon have still won. It couldn't be more tense. Oh, a great attempt by the goalkeeper, and it's gone in. Segers can't believe it. It's 4-4. And Dwight York just got away with this. Dear, oh dear, it bounced back across the line from the post. And now 5 penalties each have been taken. 4 each have been scored. 1 each has been missed. The fans know now it's straight knockout. Wimbledon still go first. It's Gerald Dobbs. Scores. And as long as Wimbledon keep putting it in the net now, the pressure is on the Villa player to keep them in it. No nerves from Dobbs. Oh, that one was thundered in. We've had... Look at that. 5-5 technically is the score, and we've also had one miss by each team. Top of the net, over the goalkeeper. Again, confident strike. And to keep them in it. He has to score, otherwise Wimbledon are through. Villa's captain puts the ball over the bar, and the celebrations start for the team you can't keep down, Wimbledon. 6 penalties to 5 they win by, and poor Kevin Richardson, the captain, put the ball over the bar. He's consoled by his opponents. Aston Villa are out of the FA Cup, and Wimbledon, in a dramatic penalty shootout, go through to play Spurs at White Hart Lane.
And of course Wimbledon had that great victory back in 1988. Here's the action now with Tony Gubber.
David Howells, Neil Ruddock, who's come forward with increasing frequency. Spurs enjoying territorial supremacy. As for Barmby, back post, it's in! Who got the touch? Anderton's claiming it. Howells was there. Tottenham lead in the 26th minute, and Darren Anderton, £1.75 million purchase from Portsmouth, who played in the FA Cup semi-finals for Portsmouth against Liverpool last season, scored a goal against them as well, has put Tottenham ahead here. He got the touch as Howells came in as well. And Neil Ruddock played his part. Great cross to pick out Barmby. Side foot from Anderton, fine goal. David Howells. Barmby. Gets it back from Sheringham. Barmby! What a great strike. Corner given. Oh, marvellous little bit of football by Tottenham again, who really are beginning to flow. He gets it back over the top from Teddy Sheringham, watches it drop, and, well, Seggers must have just got his fingertips to it because the call has been given. Ruddock got a head on. Sheringham puts it in. 2-0 Spurs. Just over a minute to go to half-time, and the second goal, which has always looked like coming, finally arrives off the head of Terry Sheringham. And it's no more than Spurs deserve. Neil Ruddock's little back flick at the edge of the 6-yard box. Sheringham in acres of space. Seggers beaten easily. Well, the back flick might actually have come off one of the defenders. Darren Anderton goes outside Elkins. Good ball in. Barmby's header. Fabulous goal. Wonderful strike. And Tottenham are running riot. Oh, what a sensational goal. What precision. Oh, the smiles now in the Tottenham dugout. Nicky Barmby, a goal to illuminate any match. And Darren Anderton looked up, chipped it up, and look how he headed that. He stooped right up into the top corner. 3 3-0 Spurs into stoppage time in the first half. Again, Tottenham keep the pressure on. Paul Allen. Edinburgh. This is Samways. Edinburgh again. Drilled in left-footed. Sheringham came to meet it. Got there ahead of the keeper. Again, neat build-up by Tottenham. You can see Sheringham starting his run very early to come to the near post. Pulled down by Samways. Barmby gets it back to Samways again. Anderton. Spurs just beginning to lift the pace a little bit. Still Anderton, he's kept his feet. Wonderful save, Saggers. What a goal it would have been for Anderton. He showed great strength to continue the run. Good save by the Dutchman Hans Seggers. But what a strong run by Darren Anderton, just 20 years of age. It was the defender who finally ran out of steam. Flicked on by Fashanu. Dobbs has pulled one back. Maybe that's given Wimbledon something to think positively about. 19 minutes gone in the second half. And Wimbledon have clawed one back. The little flick on was by Fashanu. Knocked back by Holdsworth, I think it was. And then young Gerald Dobbs, just 22 years of age, just lifting it simply over the top of Thorsvedt. Sheringham was tripped, free kick. Howells his technique quickly, and that's caught Wimbledon all over the place. Anderton, oh, great little touch, Anderton. Credit the keeper with a good save. But it's a joy to see players who think as quickly as Barmby and Anderton. He saw where the keeper was, Anderton. He just tried to nick it right over the top of him. This is the left back, just in Edinburgh. He can keep going right into the penalty area. Now, came back to him off the defender Ardley. Samways thumped it against the post. Wimbledon's defenders were always chasing back then. In fact, it was just the angle of post and bar. Wimbledon's throw, and the match now well into stoppage time. Holdsworth. It's right under the bar. Cockrell's forced it in. The header from Cottrell, and then after Thorsvedt had made the half save, Steve Cottrell, the second half substitute, squeezing it over the line, and that puts a totally different complexion on the scoreline. But surely time's running out now for Wimbledon. There's barely time for Wimbledon to mount one more attack. In fact, there isn't time at all. And much to Tottenham's relief, I'm sure, a purple patch of 3 goals in 20 minutes at the end of the first half looked to have made the game safe. But a scoreline of 3-2 doesn't really tell the whole story of how emphatically Tottenham have won this tie to go through.
Last night, what a treat for them. Wimbledon from the Premiership were running out to do battle, and they were very nearly beaten at their own game. United gave everything they got. They matched the big boys in effort and endeavour, down a bit on speed and power, but that's what you'd expect. If Hereford had made more of their chances, they could have hit the headlines. Wimbledon never looked that good. There were flashes from John Fashanu. Alan Judge in goal dealt with those. But Hans Seegers at the other end had a busier first half as United piled forward. They were caught out only once, and it hurt. Sub Andy Clark ran on to a quickly taken free kick, and that was that, 1-0. In the second half, Wimbledon threatened to run away with it, but Judge saw them off more than once. What is it about cup ties? Why did teams lift themselves for the big game? Why can't they play like this? every week. If they did, they'd be top of the league. Food for thought for Hereford, who deserved at least a draw. They did themselves proud in a game which sent the fans home happy. Hereford were hoping to be the giant killers against Wimbledon. It takes something special to stop Vinnie Jones and his men. 1 up from the first leg, the Premiership side took control of this one with an early goal from Neil Ardley. And that man Jones made it 2. Just before half-time, it was all over. An amazing free kick awarded harshly for a back pass, and Dean Holsworth thumped it home. Hereford battled on. They were down but not out and gave everything they'd got. Skipper Derek Hall struck them a goal midway through the second half. But Wimbledon were always going to win it, and Robbie Earle rounded things off with number 4, which made it 5-1 on aggregate.
When United came out at Selhurst Park to face Wimbledon in the 3rd round of the Coca-Cola Cup, Clark was in the reserves, but now it was his best friend Andy Cole who was missing. United star striker had sensationally walked out. The fans wouldn't find out until after the game, but his absence was so obvious. The whole night was a disaster. Peter Beardsley's missed kick led to Warren Barton giving the Dons a 23rd minute lead. It looked as though it might have been just a temporary setback when Scott Sellers equalised 5 minutes later, his first goal of the season. The Joe Kinnair's team are the men everyone hates to play, and the fans' worst fears were realised with just over 20 minutes left. Dean Holdsworth got the last touch on a messy goal, and one chance of silverware was already over for the season.
And it's Liverpool in red who get us underway. Well, they talk about this being a big game for Liverpool. Let's face it, it's just as big for Wimbledon. The winners with a home tie coming up against Sheffield Wednesday. And after that, if they're successful, 2-legged ties in the semi-final of the Coca-Cola Cup, really money spinners those. And then, of course, the final itself. Here's Fashanu. And what Wimbledon regarded as a perfectly good goal disallowed at Anfield. I think Bruce Grobbelaar, in the press this morning, said, yeah, I think that they were very unlucky there. There's Holdsworth with a header. And just over the back of Grobbelaar's goal. Holdsworth in a really good scoring run at the moment. He's scored in each of the last 2 and 4 in the last 6. But this one always looping over Grobbelaar's crossbar and never really a threat. Vinnie Jones is fair. There's his shot. That's wide. There's a cup tie that's been, at the moment, just a little shapeless, but you get at the same time the feeling there's a good cup tie here trying to get out. Fair shot, half volley, just wide of Grobbelaar's goal. Rush versus Fitzgerald. Fashanu chasing. Has he lost right this time? Holdsworth, he's looking for him. Looks an interesting combination. Robbie Earle coming in there too. And a shot that's taken in the end quite easily from Grobbelaar. A shot by Neil Ardley. Good play there by Wimbledon. Measuring up across towards John Barnes, maybe. Fisted away by Siggers. Redknapp. Good spell this by Liverpool. Nicol. It's Jones again. Or rather McManaman. Fowler going, and in the end took Scales at his best to get it away. Vinnie Jones, a long ball crying out to be played here for fair. And the flag has stayed down. And Fashanu is in the middle there. Holdsworth as well! superbly by that pass. Liverpool thought there may have been an offside. They looked, but there was no flag. And what a lovely ball played in there for Holdsworth, coming up so well. Holdsworth, having now scored in 3 successive games, puts Wimbledon into the lead in this crucial Coca-Cola Cup replay. Rush jumping. Fitzgerald gets the better of him. Really working Wimbledon. Oh, and right slips. Holdsworth's in there! Just over the top. Well, I think after the first game, Liverpool knew just how tough this was going to be, and they are such a competitive side, Wimbledon, having got their noses in front now. They're going to take some holding. It was an untimely slip by Mark Wright, and Holdsworth from long range just clearing that crossbar. Jones. Fashanu, it's onside, the flag has stayed down. Fashanu now with a chance to make it 2. And still with a chance to make it 2. I think Grobelaar got a touch to it and just flicked it over the top. And that was a golden opportunity there for Wimbledon to really put some distance between themselves and Liverpool. The flag stayed down, and from this moment onwards, Liverpool were in real trouble. Ruddock made a good saving tackle there. And in the end, Grobelaar just gets... That was an incredibly good save. Grobelaar gets it away. McManaman charging. Good challenge, though. Well, it looked a good challenge, and Wimbledon thought it was a good challenge. Scott Fitzgerald certainly thought it was a good challenge. But the important factor is that Howard King said no, and Liverpool have got a free kick right on the edge of the box. McManaman's still down. Back he comes from behind. And I think it's a free kick. It's a Liverpool free kick. It's in the D of the penalty area. Redknapp's behind it. Ruddock's behind it, but you have to fancy all along the central player might be... Oh, it's going to be Ruddock. It's a goal! He goes flying away towards the Liverpool fans. The commentator was fooled by it, and so were Wimbledon, waiting for a curler maybe from Barnes. It was beautifully played, and Ruddock finished it off exceptionally. Magnus. Scales gets it away. Fashanu. It stuttered a bit in places this first half, but it's had a real electricity about it. And it's a fine cup tie, which at the moment is still all square, with Wimbledon having gone ahead with that early goal from Dean Holdsworth, and then the free kick equaliser from Neil Ruddock, making it 1-1. At half-time then, Wimbledon 1, Liverpool 1. Jones played in for Jamie Redknapp, tried the little drag back and almost got it. In fact, a shot from Rob Jones in the end. Hasn't scored this season, but got some good power on that one. Sega's behind it. Oh, can he better play this? He just held up because he could see that Fashanu and Holdsworth were in danger of getting offside, but that's all academic now as Barnes takes it up. Rush gathers. McManaman takes it on. Oh, good play here by McManaman. And by Rush. And it just came off the defender and goes behind for the corner. Liverpool, in fact, at the moment, looking ever more dangerous as Rush goes in there and it just clipped off the defender. Fashion. It's fair. to Barton. This is good play. Good work by Grobbelaar. That was some nice play by the Wimbledon side as well. Good slick passing. And it was fairly optimistic, I think, to expect to beat Grobbelaar with that angle. A little over 20 minutes of normal time left. This time they have beaten the offside trap, and Fashinu's through. Here's a chance here. It's Robiel. Well, we were saying only a moment ago the offside trap might be their undoing. It has to be played. It's a dangerous game to play, and this time it was sprung superbly there by Fashinu. Grobbelaar can half stop it. Who's following in? Robiel, the man who scored the equaliser for Wimbledon back up at Anfield with just 4 minutes left. Jones. Nicol. There's some more defending to be done here for Wimbledon. Seggers is there. Oh, and he's punched into his own net! An own goal by the goalkeeper. With nearly 3 minutes of injury time gone, Liverpool are level. Nicol plays it in. Seggers comes for the punch and only succeeds in punching it into his own net. Let's look again. There's the cross by Nicol. Here comes the goalkeeper. And punched straight into his own net to give Liverpool an improbable equaliser. Fashinu. Might come for Holdsworth. Knocked it back for Robbie Earle. But Jones gets this one away. McManaman, and we go into extra time. What a sad, sad night for Hans Seggers. So extra time starts. Liverpool attack the goal to our left. 2-2. Seggers with the clearance. Roddick returns it. Vinnie Jones. Ardley. It's a good save, or is it? It is a good save. Knocked back across the face of the goal. And Wimbledon's so close. And they get a corner. Well, it was Neil Ardley down that flank that brought off the save by Grobbelaar. And Peter Fear, who put it right across the face of the goal, and behind it goes for the corner. Holdsworth, Fashinu. Fowler. Barnes. Walters. Penalty given. Fashinu on Walters. And Liverpool now with a chance to go into the lead for the first time on the night. Fashinu already looking up towards the referee, and Howard King pointing to the spot, and John Barnes now with a chance to put Liverpool ahead, and a chance for Hans Seggers to do something about the own goal that he scored just before 90 minutes was up. And he has done so! What a mixed night for Seggers then. A terrific penalty save, and it stays at 2-2. Terrific cup tie this is turning out to be. Barnes plays it through. Fashinu tumbling, stumbling, and the referee certainly had no doubts at all about it. But then Seggers did his bit. blows the final whistle of extra time. And now we have penalties to decide who goes into the quarter-finals of the Coca-Cola Cup. Will Grobbelaar be the hero, or will it be Seggers? So this enthralling cup tie reaches this cruel climax as the penalty shootout gets underway. Neil Ruddock for Liverpool. 1-0. The snow and the sleet now howling around them, and a very strong wind behind the kicker. As John Fashanu now aims to make it 1-1 and has trouble getting the ball on the spot, just to add a little tingle to the nerves. Fashanu. 1-1. Redknapp against Seggers. Saved by Seggers. Well, is he going to turn out to be a hero after all? It's important now for Wimbledon that they get another one on the score sheet. It's Dean Holdsworth. Got the night underway for Wimbledon with the first goal against Bruce Grobbelaar. He scores to make it 2-1 Wimbledon. Good penalty. Next up, John Barnes. He's already missed one tonight. That one went to Seggers' right. Where will this one go? High wind causing crisp papers and so on to fly across the goal mouth. Seggers had to clear the line. Now Barnes against Hans Seggers. He went the other way and scored. Scoring penalty standing at 2-2, but Vinnie Jones can give Wimbledon the edge again here. But he hasn't. Liverpool fans delighted at that. Mark Walters then. Saved again by Seggers, a poor penalty. Well, what an incredible night it's turning out to be for him. Not a good penalty, but he still had to get down to save it. And it's the fullback now, Brian McAllister. Who, by my reckoning, has never scored for Wimbledon. Well, this is a good moment to score the first one, and he has. And Fowler needs to score with this one to keep the penalty shootout going. Even if he scores and then Wimbledon score with their last one, they go through. So Fowler against Seggers. Is this incredible night going to continue for Seggers? No, because Fowler finds the back of the net. A 21-year-old, a Wimbledon trainee, his only club, scorer of only one goal so far this season. But a really crucial kick now. He scores, and Wimbledon go through. And look at the delight. The squadrons are flying around Selhurst Park. The celebrations have really taken an aeronautical turn. And Seggers, what an incredible night for him. Fisting the ball into his own net in the final minute of normal time, saving a penalty in extra time, and then saving two penalties on the shootout. Well, If you talk about a night of ups and downs, just ask Hans Segers about it.
The next round at Wimbledon. Corner, Elkins with it. Vital moments again for Wednesday. Pressman, Blissett, it's in. It's gone in, and the equaliser, I think, is going to be credited to Dean Holdsworth. That goal guaranteed a third semi.
But beneath all the bluster, I can tell you they have a very healthy respect for Manchester United. They know they have to perform to their game plan to seek out success here and not let the likes of Hughes settle on the ball, supported by Ince. The fast start coming from Alex Ferguson's men. Hughes has the shot. Just when it looked, one or two of the Wimbledon players were wondering about a whistle. Ince. Palace to move on and have a shot. Not particularly encouraged to do that. A patient game from United, finally crossed in by Giggs. Oh, can Hughes convert it here? Barton got to it. Jones eases it down. Anywhere will do for Peter Fear. Wimbledon hanging on by a thread then. Irwin. Chelski's coming in. Elkins' header only goes to Cantona. A glorious goal! 2 minutes before half-time, and what can you do about that? Wimbledon had no answer.
Quite amazing. It's not a great header defensively. You can see how Gary Elkins is struggling. He needs a call. He needs his goalkeeper to help him, and he needs a far better header. But from that, it's all about the magic of Eric Cantona. Watch the way he just backs away, takes one touch to set it up. And what about the quality of the volley? Quite sensational. Look at that. One to admire, time and time again. And that's the answer.
Keane. Oh, and it's run on for Giggs. Oh, off the goalkeeper, off the post. Back to Hughes. And then Jones played the ball. It looked an absolutely surefire 2-0 lead for Manchester United. Giggs. Cantona. Hughes. And over. Just for a second, it looked as though it might drop back into play, and Giggs was hoping that it would. Ince. 2-0. Paul Ince. It was on the cards. Segers and company must feel now that their FA Cup adventure is over and Manchester United are moving on into the quarter-finals. Cantona has got two to the right. Kanchelskis is one of them. Parker. Keane. They're queuing up here. Ince. Cantona. Involves Giggs on the left. Now Irwin.
Keep ball, Martin. Come and get it if you want it.
There's the acceleration. Oh, this is absolutely fantastic. Dennis Irwin. The whole cup tie summed up in an instant. superior side.
They kept possession, they sucked them out, and suddenly Dennis Irwin injected the pace that you've come to expect from their attacks. Showed wonderful composure and just stuffs it into the net. But I tell you what, all before that was quite wonderful. Quite a joy to watch.